This is the first of who knows how many film videos showing you how to get started drawing in 3D using TurboCAD. Here I'm using TurboCAD Professional Platinum 18.1. So start a new drawing, defaults to 2D view. Here's all my 2D tools. As usual, I've turned off all the snaps. Just turn this one on at the top which says no snap. Down here I've made sure the snap and gear are greyed out. So now I want to look at a 3D view, so I come up here to these are called standard tools, standard views, sorry. If I click onto that, keep your finger down for a second, don't just quickly snap at it. This opens up, and this toolbox looks a little different in version 18 than it did to the previous ones. We've got some extras here, and also we've got some extra standard views. These 3D views were not in the versions up to 18. But we're going to look in what's called isometric SE, stands for southeast, and I'm going to click on there. Now we're looking at a 3D isometric view, and up here I'm going to click on sketch, come down to 3D model, and here's all my 3D tools. I select a box, I come into the area, and in 2D if you draw a line you click at one end of the line, you move your mouse, you click at the other end of the line. Here it's exactly the same. I can click at one corner of my box, second corner of my box, but this time I've got the Z plane as well. So I can go up here, move my mouse when I'm happy where how high it's supposed to be, I can click. The other thing I can do is I can use all my snap modes. So the base of this box is here, so the base of the next box can be there, so I can snap the G snap here, and if I want it to be 50 by 75 because I know those boxes are 25 each, I can do this and I can do a G snap there, and then I can just take it up. Now if I know what the height's going to be, say it's going to be 84, down here where it says the height, you can see the height moving. As I move the height in the box here, you can see it tells you how high it is in the box here. So if it was 84 high, for example, I can go on the tab button, tab, type in 84, hit return, and there's my box. I've also got my other usual tools. I can snap to a V for a vertex there, G for a grid there, take it up. If I want it to be the same height, I can snap it to that vertex point there, or I could use N for nearest graphic, and there it is. And from the standard views I can look at it as a side elevation, as a plan. I can look at it various other ways in 3D if I wish. We go back to the standard SE. And again I can roll my mouse in and roll my mouse out. Same old thing, you've got the scroll bars, you can move the scroll bars, or you can navigate around the drawing by using the arrows on your keyboard to the closest to you, to the bottom right. They will move you around the drawing as well. So let's draw another little box here. Now let's say for example that I want to move this box and put it up on top of there. So what I'm going to do is I'll hit the space bar to come out of the tool, I'll select the box, I'll hover over the origin, I'll left click, take my finger off the button, take it up there and put it on that corner. And there it is, there's the box, one box on top of another. Now the problem here is that it's not really there. You know, I said we scroll in and we scroll out. In 3D, if you push down on the wheel mouse and then move your mouse and you skew the drawing, you can see that box is not where you thought it was. And this is the snag with 3D. This is why you've got to be careful with 3D, because from that angle it looks like it's there, but look at it from another angle and it's clearly not there. So let's take it back where it was and find out what's going on. All of these boxes are drawn on the same base. It's called the work plane. It's the same work plane. And here's all the work plane tools up here. We go through those in other tutorials. But what we can do is we can manipulate this. We can use the snaps again to position it. So I can select a box. I can hit D on the keyboard to pick up the origin. I can snap the origin to that point there with a V. I then hover over it, I left click, take my finger off, and now I'm carrying it around, and I take it up there, and I go V snap. Now when we skew it, we can see it is there. Okay. So if you're drawing something quite complicated, I suppose, chances are you'll draw that component, that part of assembly on its own, and then place it maybe using snaps. I mean, there's other ways, but this one's just about snaps. If it's just a straightforward box like that, you don't need to use the snaps. You can snap directly there, so I can go V and draw it, and it's there. Now, because I've snapped up there, I've actually changed the work plane. I've changed the surface that I'm drawing on. So if I draw another box here, we can see that that box here, the new one, is on the same work plane as my last one. So if I draw another box on here, so if I snap to that there, do that, and then draw another box, then this second box base will be the same as the base for this one, and we can test that out and see that that is the case. So when you snap to a different position, you are changing the work plane, you're changing the surface on which you're drawing. Now let's pick a different tool. Let's pick a cylinder. So if I put if I draw a cylinder now you'd think, that now looks like, you could think that the base of that cylinder is the same as that one, and it looks like it could be, but when you skew this, you can see that it's not. Because we've picked a different tool, the work plane has reverted back to our original work plane, which is the one down here. Okay, so that's what you need to look out for. I always describe it as making a 3D object using Lego. You're just snapping things together. So you can use all your usual snaps. So if I come back down here and draw a box here, and look, we notice because we've re-established the work plane down there, it's back on the floor again, if you like. It's not up there where these ones were. If I want that box coming out from the center of this box, I've got to use all my usual snaps. I can select that, pick up the origin with a D, snap that, M for midpoint, pick that up, snap that to the center of there, M for midpoint, and then that now is coming out from the middle of that other box. So you have all your usual snaps. So that's about it for the first one. This is the easiest way to manipulate and move things around. This is the first one to get your head around. The subsequent films will get a little bit more complicated.